Playoff time on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. The semifinals of the NCISAA Division I State Championship Tournament. Charlotte Christian at Providence Day. Third year in a row we've had this game, this matchup in the postseason. Former Penn State Nittany Lion, always a Nittany Lion, Reginald Walker Jr. I'm Darren Vaught. So, Reg, this has been the biggest game on the calendar for both of these teams. 3 years in a row now, another semifinal. Keys to the game presented by AAA. Let's begin with the visitors, Charlotte Christian.
Yeah, rule. That's the number one thing. That's Jamal Rule, the running back. He of over 1,000 yards this season. He's back healthy. Had a wrist injury earlier in the year, but he's back and playing well. The second thing they've got to run the ball with him thoroughly. The second thing they've got to do, they've got to tackle in space. This is a Providence Day offense that spreads you out, stretches you out, and they get you in one-on-one situations. You've got to make sure you can tackle in space, and then you got to find a way to steal some possessions, and that's in winning the turnover battle. You got to create and maximize some mistakes if Providence Day gives you an opportunity.
Keys to the game for Providence Day presented by AAA. Expect something more. We know the Chargers do.
Absolutely, and the thing and the time where they expect more is on first down. They need to be efficient on first down. Early down efficiency allows them to do anything they want in this offense. Defensively, they've got to keep Owen Farrell in the pocket. If he starts running around making plays outside of contain, you got bigger problems. And then the last thing, no returns. Got to make sure you kick that ball into the end zone in the special teams game and make them try to drive 80 yards against this young defense.
Charlotte Christian and Providence Day, the winner advances to the NCISAA state title game. And this broadcast is presented by Ortho Carolina, AAA, and Farm Bureau Insurance. There goes the coin toss. We'll let you know how it went when we return, and we will have kickoff to begin this semifinal matchup on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Stay with us.
The first question out of a kid's mouth is, when can I get back to doing what I want to do?
So in 2019, I was in class and I was doing a jump that I've been doing since I was maybe 6 years old. And my foot went one knee, my knee went the other, and my knee dislocated. It amazes me how I went through what I went through and I was still able to continue my dreams.
A look at the bracket as it has come down to the semifinals. Charlotte Christian and Providence Day, the Chargers hosting with a chance to advance to the championship game. Winner of this will play the winner of Rabun Gap and Christ School. So a possibility, Reggie, that it would be a rematch of last year's state title game, Providence Day at Rabun Gap. They, the higher seed, would host that game if they win against Christ School.
You talk about a game last year that was absolutely absurd. That game, the state championship down at Rabun Gap in Georgia, was an unbelievable state championship game. You got to give a ton of credit to Chad Greer and his team for finding a way to persevere. And again, they deal with tonight a team in Charlotte Christian they're very familiar with. We're talking 1.5 miles apart, the two schools. We're talking this is the third consecutive year they've met in the playoffs. 2 years ago, it was the state championship game. Obviously, last year was a semi, and now this year another semifinal. So one of these situations where not only do the teams know each other and the kids know each other, they're used to this moment and what's on the line in this moment playing against each other.
It'll be the Chargers receiving the opening kick. Elijah Boyth on the kickoff for Charlotte Christian. And it's into the end zone, a touchback to get us underway. No chance at a return for Max Castle.
Just to give people a little bit of a sense of what to expect tonight. After teams score on the kickoff, that's a perfect time to get another glass of water because both of these kickers put the ball in the end zone consistently. Don't say I never warned you. I'm trying to help the people out.
I get it. You had to remind me to fill up my water bottle before we got started here. You're just keeping people hydrated.
That's it.
Zaid Lott is the starting quarterback in his first season at the helm, but he's hardly new anymore at this point for Providence Day. Man in motion, and a pitch to Caleb Cooper. Got to the edge, gained 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to get the football going in terms of the running game. Ian Klein, number 21, the normal running back, dealing with a little bit of an injury. Not sure if we'll see him at all tonight. So right there, a different way, a more creative way to get the ball in the hands of Cooper with his momentum, getting towards the line of scrimmage.
Klein is suited up. He did go through warm-ups, but it appears to be Cooper leading the way now on 2nd and 6. Carries it up the middle. Plenty enough for the first down. That moves the chains for the Chargers.
They really, really like Cooper. They think he's got a chance to be a really good back. He just obviously is not normally the guy. But tonight is going to be a very important test, if you will, for him as the, quote, bell cow back, obviously with Ian Klein saddled dealing with that injury.
Cooper, a sophomore. Lott goes up and gets a high snap. Cooper again follows a block and manages a couple of yards on the carry.
Interesting start to this game by Providence Day. 3 straight runs, not as much tempo as we're used to seeing and probably that we will see throughout this football game. You wonder if this is a little bit of Coach Chad Greer kind of setting up the up-tempo offense for a little bit later in the ballgame.
Lott tosses. And that'll go for a loss. Snuffed out by the Charlotte Christian defense. Cohen Kilgannon, one of the Kilgannon twins, on the tackle.
Yeah, this is a defense that absolutely flies to the football. Providence Day got to understand, especially if you're trying to get to the outside, got to do an excellent job getting that block on the edge and making sure to turn that guy or occupy him because this defense absolutely can flat out run.
3rd and 8. Lott to throw. Goes over the middle. Catch is made. First down acquired. Moses Poku Kankum on the catch, the tight end, as it's another first down brought to you by 988 lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988-24-7. Let's get through it together.
And there you saw a situation where 3rd and long, kind of forced to throw the football there for Providence Day, but they're able to complete it.
Cooper sent in motion, out as a receiver. Throw is up the middle. Jalen Himes for another first down.
This is great play design. They have trips to the right. They run the back out into the flat on a little bubble kind of route. Then they work up the middle of the field. It spreads those linebackers out, those flat and curl defenders. They spread out. They're able to throw the curl right over the football.
Cooper blown up as soon as he found the hole That is a massive play by L.J. Porter, maybe the best defensive player for Charlotte Christian.
Yeah, he's a throwback. He's a throwback. He started the season playing mostly at that safety position. Now he's down at the linebacker position. They want him in the box more because of his ability to do exactly what we just saw right there, fill a hole and show up with bad intentions defensively.
Porter, the team's leader in tackles this season, that his 75th. Now 2nd and 11 after the loss of 1. Lott shuffles out of the way and back into the way of defenders and is brought down for the sack.
And L.J. Porter again made that play, came on a little bit of a blitz. You'll see it there. He comes on the blitz. He forces Lott to step up in the pocket where the help is, and they get the sack. That's well done, well executed. Sometimes it's not about making the tackle, if you will, but you got to make the play and set it up for somebody else.
Ryder Kilgannon also in on at the tail end of the play with Jacob Simmons prior to that. Another 3rd down, long to go. Pass is caught. That won't be enough. Catch made by Gordon Sellers. This 4th down is brought to you by NC Medicaid for more people. Get full health care coverage with $4 maximum copays. Find out more at medicaid.nc.gov.
Vincent Rosen was on the coverage there. He stayed down after the play, but was able to pop up and just run to the sideline. So obviously he's okay.
Plus territory. This will be a 4th and 3 for Providence Day. Looks like the offense is going to stay out.
I think they tried to kind of indirectly steal a timeout there with the injury, and the officials are like, nope, you got to get back out here.
Fourth down, there was some movement, and it's a false start on Providence Day, so it'll be 4th and 8 now.
Yeah, they got the right tackle there, number 75, Griff Galloway, kind of rocked in that stance, and that's the penalty. It's going to set up now 4th and 8. It's a tough spot on the field. You punt the ball here, probably not getting anything in terms of a field position, I should say, advantage. And obviously a long field goal, not likely, so you go ahead and go for it.
Lot to throw. 4th and 8. Steps up, squeaks through the pocket. First down, extended inside the 10-yard line.
He got a great block. This thing breaks down, and he ended up picking up an excellent block on the outside there from Gordon Sellers, I believe, right here at the top of the screen. He just kind of dove in front of a couple of guys, didn't make contact, but was able to get the block there.
Lott's been great with his feet. That's an area where head coach Chad Greer said he's made the most progression in recent weeks. Handoff up the middle. Cooper again with a short gain and a goal-to-go situation. Now the spot goes to the 5-yard line.
One of the other things with Lott, you mentioned his ability to use his legs. Obviously, the later you get in the season, the less you can think about the ramifications potentially of getting banged up a little bit. I think with what's on the line, you start to see more. As you see, speaking of something being on the line, here comes Ian Klein in the ballgame, number 21, in that backfield.
Second and goal. Lott gives. Klein sheds a man immediately and then is brought down. He was wrapped up by the ankle.
Here's what I can tell you. If I see that guy in the game in a short yardage situation, look at the lower half of that young man. There is no chance. There is no chance you ignore him as an offensive play caller down around the goal line because of the physical strength that he has and the ability to drive those strong, powerful legs to try to push people into the end zone.
Third and goal now from the 8. Lott somehow escapes and then is tripped up after the fact.
Darren, I think he missed a touchdown here. You see it out to the left side. There's Ian Klein, top of your screen. He's wide open. If Lott gets that ball out there, that's a walk-in touchdown for Klein. I think he missed an opportunity there for a touchdown.
So now Providence Day will look to kick a field goal. This is a 28-yard attempt by Davis Dudley. Hold is down. Dudley shoots it through the uprights, and that is the first score of the game. Providence Day up 3-0, 4 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter here of the NCIS state semifinal.
Field turf was built on innovation, dating back to our invention of long-piled infield turf, which revolutionized the industry. Today, we offer a series of game-changing fibers, high-performance infills, sport-specific applications, and smart field technology. Field turf. Let's change the game.
I am Bruno Hinojosa and I live in Asheville. I work in construction and I just enrolled in NC Medicaid. I went to their website, applied, and got covered. Doctor visits, yearly checkups, and even emergency care if I need it. Being a business owner can be stressful at times, but knowing that I got covered, it just takes weight off my shoulders. And I can get the care that I need when I need it at low or no cost. And it's one less thing I need to worry about now.
NC Medicaid is for more people. See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
Ortho Carolina is proud to serve as the official orthopedic care provider of the NCISAA and is committed to empowering those who may be impacted by injuries. In partnership with the Hurt mobile app, Ortho Carolina provides free, on-the-go, real-time access to orthopedic specialists 365 days a year. Prepare yourself now for those unexpected moments by downloading the Hurt app. Ortho Carolina, committed to being the better choice. A 7 minutes and change opening drive for the Chargers of Providence Day ends in a 28-yard field goal. Kickoff into the end zone, a touchback, and Charlotte Christian will begin its first drive of the day.
And again, if you're looking for a time, get another something to drink or something else to eat, kickoffs would be the time in this football game. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
An interesting development in that first series. I mean, that is a long, methodical drive by Providence Day. We were under the impression, just based on the kind of team that they are, that maybe they were going to come out here and try to up-tempo it against a Knights team that assumedly is going to slow it down. But now Owen Farrell, their quarterback's alone in the backfield, so we might have polar opposites. Jamal Rule in motion. Farrell fakes a handoff, keeps himself, and is pushed out of bounds.
That's well done by this defense. You got to string him out because if he starts turning the corner, Owen Farrell, he might be playing quarterback, but this kid is a super athlete, and he can absolutely run. You got to keep him bottled up. We talked about that in the open of the show. He's a guy that you've got to keep contained on.
Loss of one on the play, 2nd and 11 for the Knights.
Tenth start of the season for Farrell. He's rushed for over 560 yards on the year. Now it's a pitch. Jamal Rule off tackle. And that, in case you have not seen him play yet this season, is a great illustration of just how tough he is to tackle.
He's a throwback. Big physical back. Look at him hit up inside there. And then they just can't get him off his feet. Great balance. And what I love about him, Darren, and you and I were talking about this before the game, he's old school. No gloves, none of that. Now, on the left hand, you see he's got a little bit of a cast. He had a wrist injury earlier in the year. So he's got that thing wrapped up. Otherwise, that would be an open free hand with no glove, just as that right hand is.
3rd down and 1 for the Knights. They give it to Rule. He comes up short, no gain. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, that call tells me there's a chance they're going to go for it here because they've got a guy like Rule in that backfield. They feel like he can pick this up. They're going to punt it.
Yeah.
Field
what
position.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think there?
Just
too deep in their own territory.
Absolutely. This is a Providence Day offense that is explosive. The last thing you want to do is give them a bunch of short fields, especially already trailing 3-0.
Farrell, number 2, doing the punting for the Knights. Braxton Winston, number 6, deep for the Chargers.
.210 left in the first quarter. There goes the punt. Return, Braxton Winston. Out of bounds near midfield. And back to the Chargers. Possession goes. Here comes a flag out of nowhere.
That's a great arm by the official. The flag came from about 40 yards.
Longest pass we've seen so far. It is early, and teams have been run heavy, but
20 yards away. Block in the back.
And it's a block in the back against the return team, Providence Day. That'll back them up to the 40-yard line as opposed to the 50.
Football team recognized faculty in a faculty appreciation week. Got a number of faculty members wearing jerseys given to them by various members of the football team, just showing how much the football team appreciates.
Here come the Chargers for 1st and 10. With Lott, the quarterback, it is Cooper in the backfield. 4 wide. High snap, Lott has trouble squeezing it, hurls toward the sideline, incomplete.
And that was a purposeful throwaway. Made sure there was a receiver in the area, obviously in Sellers, but that was a flat-out throwaway. Didn't want to make a bad situation worse.
Pass in the vicinity of number 5, Gordon Sellers, falls incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 now for PD.
Lott completes his passes at a 61% clip this season. Klein now the back in place of Cooper.
Another high snap.
Klein to the edge and brought down shortly after the line of scrimmage. It'll go for a gain of 3.
I think this one's going to come back. I think they got a hold on the backside here. Yeah, I think they're going to get, is that Funderburk 51? I think they're going to get Funderburk here on a hold.
Holding is the call. Backs up Providence Day even further.
10-yard penalty pushes the line of scrimmage back.
This is why we talked about the early down efficiency, because now you're making them a very, very predictable offense in these scenarios.
Second and 20. Same formation, Lott to throw, plenty of time. Shuffles his feet, now flushed out, throws against his momentum, and it's incomplete. Was looking for Sellers again that time. Tight to the sideline. Sellers was in an area where he could make the play.
That'll bring up 3rd and long now for the Chargers.
This defense right now, and Darren, the other piece of it, defensively, the Knights showing a lot of too high safety look, a lot of cover 2 look to try to minimize the opportunities to push the ball down the field with this explosive offense. I think that's why we've seen so much of the running game early.
Third down and 20. Watt quickly gets it out to Steele Fletcher on a screen pass. Medium gain. Leaves a lot more to go for a first down, so it's 4th and 14.
He's banged down there. It's a good defensive possession there by the Knights.
Gain of 5 on the play. That'll bring up 4th and 15 for the Chargers. Vincent Rosen, number 1. PD step number 7.
The punt is away. Backtracking it, Tate Estep called for a fair catch.
It's a great job by him. That's a tough catch on a punt.
Well, and given the way that thing was moving, it sent him back farther than he thought it was initially going to be. That was going to be in danger of being downed very tight to the end zone.
Absolutely.
And now with the fair catch, you've got it from your own 20, which is, a normal.
How about that punt from Davis Dudley, though? You got a punter that can flip the field. It makes your life great. You got a kicker who's forcing teams to go the distance in terms of 80-plus yards to get points because they're kicking the ball into the end zone. It's pretty good for your defense.
Farrell, play fake, throws it over the middle, and it's broken up, incomplete. Cairo Skanes, one of the team captains, a tremendous defensive back, makes the play.
Yeah, he just reads this. He's back there kind of playing center field, sees the receiver coming over the middle in the form of Elliott Newcomb, and that's just a blow-up shot. Newcomb also plays some quarterback for this team. Can throw the football, really good athlete. Takes a shot right there.
This is a team, a program in Charlotte Christian that certainly likes its Swiss Army knives. I mean, we're looking at one at quarterback in Owen Farrell. Throws it well, runs a lot.
Remember the first time we saw that guy, Darren? Last season. He made about 50 million plays in about 3 snaps as Rule goes to the right side. Farrell is electric. You get him and Rule going in this running game, especially you get an option situation going to the edge. If you're a lone defender out there and you got to make a decision, there's no choice that it's going to be good with those two coming at you.
3rd and 3 when we return as the first quarter has concluded. 3-0, Chargers on top of the Knights.
This town is my home. I care about the people who live here. There's no substitute for local. I get to build relationships, and that's what makes us different. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Just because you can't be there for her game doesn't mean you can't be there for her.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, being local for their customers and their families matters. That's why they're a proud supporter of NCISAA, whether it's supporting student athletes or giving back to local communities. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance is there when you need them. Reggie Walker, Darren Vaught here at the NCISAA State semifinal matchup between Charlotte Christian and Providence Day. For the Knights, they trail 3-0 and have a 3rd down with 3 yards to go. 0 for 1 on thirds through 1 series on offense so far. They'll get this one easily as Jamal Rule gets around the corner and to the end zone for a touchdown. 73 yards
This is just speed around the edge. They do a great job. Watch them seal the edge. You get a little bit of misdirection, and they don't get outside and set the edge to force it back inside, and then it's just speed for Rule down the sideline, big physical back, showing the speed, gets to the house.
A big play for the first play of the second quarter, as the extra point is good to make it 7-3. Charlotte Christian with the lead.
Your score, Charlotte Christian 7, Providence State 3.
Rule averages 170 yards per game.
Just got half of it right there. Almost.
His 14th touchdown of the season. This is a guy who was, as a transfer from Salisbury High School, had a remarkable season a year ago. 2,700 rushing yards and 36 total touchdowns, among the tops in the state of North Carolina.
I don't think I had 36 touchdowns in my entire football life.
I mean, that's a lot. That's
Granted,
a lot.
I play defense, but 36 is still a lot. My goodness. We can see why, though. When you got that kind of speed and you can turn a corner and do what he just did, that's a message. That is a big-time run.
That could be the difference tonight. Rule missed the last meeting between these two teams. Providence Day won that one 28-14, despite Charlotte Christian forcing a handful of turnovers. This is a returnable kick, and a nice return by Max Castle up to the 40-yard line.
After that, here's going to be a guess. The conversation between Chris James and Elijah Boyd, the kicker, is going to be no more returns. Kick that ball into the end zone and make them go the length of the field.
There's a guy who knows a lot about these games against Charlotte Christian, former Providence Day wide receiver Jordan Shipp, now a North Carolina Tar Heel. Made it back to PD here for this big matchup. We saw him in Coach Greer's office.
Great kid to talk to. He's having a lot of fun. Very happy at North Carolina. That's big.
Zaid Lott on first down. Airs it out. Finds Jalen Himes for his second catch of the night. And an immediate first down into Charlotte Christian territory.
Here's another guy in Jalen Himes that needs more opportunities in terms of at the college level. Great job working across the field. Makes a nice catch in space. Well done, well executed, good throw, but the route was incredible. Nice job there by Himes to move the chains for his team.
Cooper moves to the side. Lott now throwing. Quick out. And gets a catch by Bauer Sodoma.
Bauer Sodoma, number 44 from the tight end spot.
How about Sodoma? Plays a little tight end, long snapper, a little bit of everything, versatility. Nice job on the catch right there in the flat.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Lot of pitch. Cooper juts inside. Breaks a tackle, spins, and is inside the 10-yard line.
How about that cut by Cooper? He's working his way to the left, but watch this cut coming up right here. That's a very, very difficult cut to make. Then he spins off a couple of blocks there down inside the 10-yard line.
Now it goes to Ian Klein. Nowhere to go, shuffling his feet as he got inside the 10.
Goes to number 21, Ian Klein.
You can tell Klein doesn't quite have the full burst that you're used to seeing out of him. He's gutting it out, but the burst is just not quite there on that ankle.
I'm a bit surprised to see that he's had a few carries so far. Lott on 2nd down. Lots of time. Steps up. rockets it through the back of the end zone.
Some would say he's got to bring that one down. He tried to throw it high because there was a defender who could cut underneath that. You don't want to throw an interception there. So he tried to see if he could put it sort of at the top of his guy's Sellers kind of ladder, see if he could go get it just a little bit too high. I like the throw. The execution, not perfect, but I like the idea behind the execution there to put that ball up higher.
3rd and goal from the 9. Reggie, number 8 in red on your screen there. Cole Cater is a quarterback for this team. Receives the handoff. Is covered up well, but you could see where they were going with the trick play, trying to get the second quarterback an extra pass.
Yeah, but Ryder Kilgannon did an excellent job on the edge there. They tried to block him with 2 to try to get the edge so that they could get outside. He was not having any part of it and is able to thwart that play before it could really even get started.
Just the 4th incompletion of the season by Cater. That's in large part because of the schemes that they put him in. Now 13 of 17 passing on the season with 5 touchdowns. Providence Day calls a timeout prior to this 4th and goal.
I think this is a good timeout. You got to make sure you get what you want here in terms of the call. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Any coverage adjustments you want to work off of, get all of that solved and figured out right here. It's a big 4th down, a chance to take the lead back. Obviously, for the Knights, if you can get a stop here and get the ball back up 7-3, you feel really, really good. With the way you can run the football with Rule, can you eat up some of that clock and get some points?
You think there was any consideration to kick another field goal there for the Chargers?
No, I don't think so. And I think the main reason why was Jamal Rule's run. I think that told them we might have to score. Kicking field goals is just not going to get it done with the way their offense was able to get an explosive and score last time out.
Goal to go, 4th down. Whistles, there was movement.
Yeah, that's going to be a false start. I think they're going to get Sodoma, the tight end. Wasn't really his fault, to be honest with you. The clap was there in terms of for the snap. There's the clap, so he goes off of the noise. The snap took an extra second to come back. There's your false start. And I think now you have to kick the field goal with the 4th and double-digit distance.
Davis Dudley hit a 28-yarder in the first quarter. This attempt from 31. That's good as well, and it draws it within 1 for the Chargers. A 7-6 lead for Charlotte Christian. We're just under 10 minutes until halftime on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
A Master of Sport Management degree is an emphasis on studying the business side of sport. Western Carolina gives you the education and advantage. We're located in the Business College, which is AACSB accredited. Our business savvy curriculum, taught by nationally recognized professors, can provide the tools that differentiate students from the crowd. Our curriculum provides a solid foundation of theory, but also the application piece that students today are looking for.
NC Medicaid is for people just like me.
Adults who don't have children.
People who serve.
People who do the heavy lifting.
Child care teachers. Full healthcare coverage at low or no cost.
Doctor's visits, emergency rooms, and prescriptions.
So if you applied before and didn't get it, apply again.
NC Medicaid covers more people than ever before.
Get full healthcare coverage at low cost, no monthly fees, and $4 max copays. NC Medicaid is for more people. See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
Nobody knows cars like AAA. From maintenance and repair at AAA Car Care to dependable auto insurance, always fresh AAA car batteries and AAA roadside assistance. Trust AAA for the life of your vehicle. For details, visit AAA.com/WeKnowAuto. Couple of field goals for Providence Day. This is a kind of game that the Chargers not that accustomed to playing, but Charlotte Christian doing a great job defensively. And it's a one-point game.
This is a Knights defense that, listen, you watch them all season long and see a lot of different things, but there's two things that they do really well. They play with discipline in terms of understanding how to play team defense, and then they absolutely run to the football, and you're seeing a lot of that displayed early in this game, and that's why they've, particularly in the red zone, been able to keep Providence Day to field goals.
Last time on the field for the Knights offense, it was a 73-yard touchdown run by Jamal Rule. Biggest play of the game for either side. And Owen Farrell, number 2 in white, team captain, leads the offense again. Alone in the backfield. He does have Rule in the slot, who's now in motion. Rule receives the handoff. Looked like he might have bobbled it before shooting up the middle.
Yeah, you wonder if he's having any kind of ball handling issues with that cast on the left hand. That could have been part of the reason for, as you mentioned, the bobble there.
Still gets 3 yards, 2nd and 7. Brandon Hetwer shuffling from one side of the line to the other, trying to offer a lead blocker for Farrell. No such luck for the Knights.
This is well done defensively, keeping everything inside, not letting them get the edge. Trey Gathers, nice play there. That's what you have to do in the secondary. If you're going to come up and run support, especially at that corner spot or you're the outside guy, you got to just come up and spill it back inside. Keep that outside arm free and force everything back to your help or make that tackle. You cannot let that guy turn the corner.
Third and 10 for Charlotte Christian. Farrell rolls, floats a pass, incomplete. And it will be 4th down. Another brought to you by NC Medicaid. For more people, get full health care coverage with $4 maximum copays. Find out more at medicaid.nc.gov. So the Knights, again, perhaps too deep in their own territory, will punt it away.
Yeah, 4th and 10 at your 20-yard line. That's not where you want to give the ball back.
Farrell is dropped back and is the one to kick it. Returned right up the chute. And this will be good starting field position for Providence Day. How about that? The quarterback stays out there and is able to do sort of a rugby-style kick and get it across midfield from where they were.
Yeah, it gives you a threat as well. Teams have to think about trying to set up a return. You got to keep your eyes on a guy that is truly the quarterback of this football team. Just something extra to think about by having him stay out there as the punter.
Drive begins at the plus 41 for Providence Day.
I think this is a big drive. They've got to finish with a touchdown. And look at Big David Sanders, the all-everything left tackle, split out in this formation. Just a little different wrinkle here.
Lott throws, finds Steele Fletcher. So, okay, we understand what Sanders was doing out there now. He's making room for Fletcher.
That's a great job by Henry Hulbert, number 9, coming down, playing that alley. He forces that thing back inside where his help is. That is well done. We're going to get more of this formation.
2 yards on the play.
This time Sanders is considered in the backfield here.
Sanders went in motion. The snap goes awry. Cooper falls on it all the way back into PD territory.
Look at Sanders' reaction. Watch him right here, number 70. You see how he throws his hands up. I think he's expecting to get across the other side of the football before that snap comes, which is another reason why it looked like Lott wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, Lott was very obviously watching Sanders before that ball came, so he wasn't expecting it, wasn't looking for the snap.
Now it's 3rd and Uptown. Good luck. Uptown Charlotte, that is.
3rd and 20 for Providence Day. They're 1 for 5 on thirds, and Zaid Lott goes under center. Jalen Himes catches on a screen and is pushed out at the 45.
Number 1, Jalen Himes.
A gain of 5, and it's 4th and 15.
Gets down to the 47-yard line. It'll bring up.
They're going to go for it. I thoroughly expected a punt here. He may end up taking a timeout. Well, no, it looks like they're going to go ahead and go for it. I guess he feels like field position-wise, he's okay giving it back here.
Spot actually makes it 4th and 16. Lott.
Oh, there it is.
Kicks it himself. Does an Owen Farrell impersonation. And back in coverage, Vincent Rosen on a return.
That's great reaction and situational awareness there by Rosen. As you see, Lott kind of rolls out, then he rugby styles this kick. And Rosen recognizes it, just takes it out of the air, and turns into an offensive player there. I like the decision to kick it there. I would have been okay just bringing the punter out, getting your coverage team out there. Ended up being a net of probably plus 8 yards of field position for Providence Day.
1st and 10 from the 40. A flag comes.
It's going to be a formation issue.
That will negate the 2-yard run by Jamal Rule. So this is a chess match. We've seen both quarterbacks punt the football the last 2 series.
The illegal formation called against the Knights.
Yeah, I think they were saying there were too many in the backfield there
5-yard penalty
in terms of the alignment.
Brandon Hetwer, the tight end, was in motion back behind the line of scrimmage at the time the ball was snapped, so extra man back there. First and 15 after the penalty. Play fake. Farrell in front of David Sanders. Launches it up for Rosen, who can't go up and get it.
Farrell looking downfield, number 1, Vincent Rosen.
You wondered at some point when David Sanders would start to make his presence known. This time on defense, does a great job recognizing that Farrell kept the football, trusts the other guys on the other side to make a tackle if the handoff was given, keeps Farrell in the pocket and forces the throwaway. It's one of the things we talked about is you got to keep Farrell contained. You can't let him get to the edge or on the edge and start running around because he can create all kinds of problems with his athleticism and speed.
2nd and 15, Christian at their own 35. Another penalty, and again, false start. So 2nd and 20. Neither team doing a great job staying on schedule and getting ahead of the chains. I mean, this is 20 yards to gain. We've seen 2 3rd and 20s for PD in this one already.
Saw a 2nd and 15 plus for Charlotte Christian, their last possession as well.
2nd and 20. It's Jamal Rule. Sheds a tackle. To the outside he goes and is pushed out of bounds at the initial line of scrimmage.
Here's the message on Rule. If you're going to come up against him in the running game, what you're not going to do is throw a shoulder into him and think he's going to go down. And that lesson was learned that time by Kairos Gaines. Tried to come up, just throw a shoulder at him. Rule bounces off, picks up additional yardage.
3rd and 11. Farrell, nowhere to go. Sanders, the sack.
Hey, Darren, remember earlier when I said sometimes it's not about making the tackle, it's about making the play? Watch Griff Galloway right here at the top of the screen. Watch him. See, Farrell wants to get outside the pocket. He's got no option because Galloway holds that edge, and then here comes David Sanders on the backside to clean that up. Again, you don't have to make the sack. You just have to make the play. You play the team concept defensively, you get a sack there.
3rd sack of the season for the top recruit, Sanders, and it forces a punt. And Providence Day trailing by 1, a chance again on the offensive end to affect this game. Still looking for their first touchdown. It's a defense that Chad Greer and the coaching staff has raved about all season long. I mean, look, we've seen explosive offensives the past several years here at Providence Day. Not that this isn't a good offensive team, but with Zaid Lott taking over the reins at the quarterback position, the number of playmakers that they saw go out the door and make their way to Power 4 programs.
Right.
They just knew entering this season it was going to be a little bit more of a work in progress on the offensive side. They've really been able to depend on the defensive end.
And look, this is not a senior-laden team on either side of the ball, especially on defense, but on offense either. There's a lot of underclassmen that will be back next year.
So no penalty despite the whistle.
Play, no play.
Now it'll be 1st and 10.
Here we go, 1st and 10 for the 25.
Lott drops back. Runs out of room in the pocket. Tries to escape and is wrangled down to the ground. Looked like Ryder Kilgannon was first there on the play.
Keep it on the left side of your screen. They bring a late blitz, very late, right there. That takes up the back. So now everything is one-on-one from a protection standpoint. Nobody's open down the field. Pocket breaks down because they overload the protection. Somebody in their mind has to win eventually, and they're able to get home.
Kilgannon joining forces with Griffin Shaw, number 79 in white, one of the team captains, on the edge for the sack. 2nd and 14. Lott, a delayed handoff. And Cooper gets right back to the line of scrimmage. Another 3rd and long for Providence Day.
Got to give a lot of credit to this defensive front. They're doing an excellent job in the front 7. Shrinking the pocket, collapsing the space at the line of scrimmage. They are playing in Providence Day's backfield, the Charlotte Christian defensive front 4.
3rd and 14. Providence Day has not had a 3rd down attempt inside of 8 yards tonight. Over the middle. It's caught beyond the marker by Sellers for another 1st down, brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988 24/7. Let's get through it together.
Great job there by Sellers. Works up the field and then comes back towards the football. And that pass is thrown right on time. Nice catch.
1st and 10. Lott throws again. This time it's Steele Fletcher. What a move to get past the 50. A stiff arm, and finally brought down at the 40 on the other end.
Oh, this right here, this is what they call the old dead leg, right? I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to take it away really quickly. Gives a little dead leg, gets back up inside. Big-time first down, and now the tempo forces a timeout from Charlotte Christian.
First of the half, 2 remaining for the Knights. 2:12 until halftime.
Now look, that great play there by the receiver. Just talked about the dead leg. Now, I have to ask you, we got to talk a little college football for a second here in this timeout.
Okay.
I say the meanest, if you call it dead leg, if you will, in the history of college football was Peter Ward.
Yep.
Do you have a counter to that? It's tough.
It's a good question
Peter
because
Warwick was, I mean.
That, because you mentioned him, Warwick makes a ton of sense.
Yes.
It also is not, it's not that common a move.
No.
Right? Like when you think of
you gotta be
good,
good at it.
Good evasive runners.
Yes.
It's a lot of.
That guy's got a little bit of a dead leg. Jordan Shipp, he's got one.
Yeah.
Greg Olson, not as much of a dead leg guy, an assistant coach for Charlotte Christian. He's not going to give you a whole lot of dead leg. He's just going to lower that shoulder on you, and it's a boomstick, and you're going to get out the way.
Yeah. I might have to think on that. Best dead leg.
I shouldn't have put you on the spot.
No,
That's not fair.
it's totally okay. I think it's worth considering for just for sake of the conversation. Lott out of the timeout, quickly finds Gordon Sellers.
I like
Stiff
that.
arm.
There's off coverage. He's your best receiver. Just throw it out there quick. Get what you can. A wise coach once told me you can't go broke taking a profit. You may not be rich because if profit's only 1 cent, that whatever. But you can't go broke taking a profit.
Empty backfield, Lott again. Same play, Sellers inside the 10-yard line.
That's how you get a guy involved. You get an opportunity, you see off coverage on consecutive plays. Just one step, throw it out there. Just give him the football. Let him do the work. Let him get into the rhythm of the game. Now what likely is going to happen, or what you're hoping happens, is they start playing a little bit tighter coverage to take that away. Now they maybe have to come out of the too high safety look, and you can take some shots down the field to open up this offense.
Sodoma back in as the tight end on the right side of the line. Lott, fade, corner end zone, caught for the touchdown. Steele Fletcher, the sophomore, has had a huge impact on this game, including the first touchdown of the night for the Chargers.
It's just a great route. He's in the top of your screen, and he just goes up and runs a little corner route. He's got the corner thinking and confused, thinking maybe he runs out of room there. Caden Lawrence didn't have an answer. Great route. Excellent throw by Lott for the touchdown.
Providence Day takes the lead. And the extra point will have to wait a moment. Penalty against the defense.
I think Chad Greer might go for 2 here. Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Out there.
That's what it looks like. And it makes sense given that your first 2 scores were field goals.
Right. Trying to get back on schedule.
Yeah, exactly. The extra point would give you 13. 2 would make it 14-7. Lott under center. It's a handoff and a successful 2-point conversion by giving it to Quentin McCray.
McCray, a linebacker a guy that they're not going to use a lot on offense, but in short yardage situations, he's the guy they want to get the football to. This time he's the up man, just a quick handoff inside, using the motion to try to influence those linebackers so they're not stepping up into the hole there in the A-gap.
Providence say shout out to football PD alum number 3, Jordan Schiff. Represent.
I said chess match earlier, Reg. This has been a bit of a slugfest kind of start. Providence Day elects to take the points its first 2 possessions by kicking field goals.
Yeah. Now you finish a drive, you're able to get a touchdown. A mistake gives you a chance to go for 2 in terms of the penalty. They're able to convert. Now all of a sudden, it's a 1-possession game for you. If you're the Chargers right now, if you're the Knights, you're looking to see if you can find a way to get a sustained drive and turn it into points. So far, just the explosive run from Jamal Rule being the points you have on the board.
Jacob Baggett booms it through the back of the end zone.
Young JJ, as he's called sometimes in the family home. It's going to be interesting to see what becomes of his career as well. Works with Warner, one of the local kicking coaches, works with specialists in the area. He said that, or had a chance to talk to his father, and they talked about how they really, really like the folks up at Syracuse. Fran Brown, one of the best recruiters in the country. So very enamored with that potential situation. So we'll see where he ends up as well.
Dudley and Baggett, couple of viable kickers on this Providence Day team as Rule carries for a short gain to begin the drive for the Knights. Providence Day's coach Chad Greer talked with us earlier in the week about what a luxury that is to have a couple of guys that can do the kicking. Baggett, sort of the big leg resource. You use him as the kickoff specialist. There's a point at which, distance-wise, they would move from Dudley to him. Absolutely. On field goals.
It's Darren, it's just, and you and I have talked about this, right? And you think about over the last couple of years, some of the guys that we've seen just in this area. Nolan Hooser comes to mind down at Clemson now, came out of Huff. When you have a kicker that you know, once you get inside maybe the 25-yard line or 20-yard line for your team, and you feel like you know at that point we can get points, or you have a kicker in high school football that's going to force touchbacks, it just creates so much more of a great dynamic for your football team as we see L.J. Porter for the Knights trying to work his way off the field there. You hope that it's maybe just cramps, but not quite sure.
He's a big piece of what the Knights have been able to accomplish this season. An occasional runner of the football, just 25 carries on the year. His biggest impact made on the defensive end.
And defensively, Darren, he's just a problem solver because he's got the ability to do so many things and play from so many spots on the field. Looking to bleed this clock here to not give the Chargers much time, if any, before halftime.
It's Jamal Rule again. Bullets through a hole off tackle. Gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 3.
You wonder if Greer's going to take a timeout here, and I think he is. Yeah, he takes a timeout. You just wonder if he's going to – I think he just wants to make them have to kick the football, see if he can maybe get a nice return to set up an opportunity to be aggressive on offense.
We often say of those timeouts in the first half, too. I mean, you've got them. Might as well use them.
Absolutely.
Got some halftime entertainment for you tonight. The varsity cheerleaders will be performing.
Tonight's Bahakel Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988-24/7. Let's get through it together.
Coming out of the timeout, it's third down.
Third and 3 for the Knights. Play fake and incomplete, trying to go over the middle. The intended target was Corbin Hall.
To the tight end, number 15, Corbin Hall. Ball's incomplete. That'll bring up
Here, another look at what's at stake. This is the NCISAA state semifinal. Winner will go on to play either Rabun Gap or Christ School.
And the update there, Rabun Gap 28, Christ School nothing. Still in the first half there, so Rabun Gap rolling right now, looking for a chance to once again host the state championship game.
Eagles dominating after hosting the state championship a season ago. That turned out pretty well. There's not a man back to return it on fourth down.
And we get a little extracurricular on the sideline. There was a penalty flag thrown, and then you saw the hat come off. David Sanders was standing on the sideline and pushed the Charlotte Christian player after the play. That's why the hat came off, because the official had already thrown his flag. Question is, who was the first penalty on? Obviously, the hat throw is for the second penalty there, which will be on number 70 of Providence Day, David Sanders, basically participating without being in the play and potentially in what they might call an unsportsmanlike act.
Clearly a lot going on.
It was right in front of the Providence State coaching staff, right at the 30-yard line, literally on the sideline.
Yeah, the flag is, you see the officials, the flag is at their feet, and then obviously down bottom of your screen in the red hat is Chad Greer, the head coach.
Yeah, whatever it was going on during the play, and then Sanders took exception to it and grabbed the player from Charlotte Christian, and that's where the hat came off. Taking a long time here to sort this out. And you just wonder if this is more than just a personal foul and an unsportsmanlike. You wonder if they may be discussing a disqualification.
Right, yeah. I mean, Chad Greer is as close as he can politely be to the conversation. Now the Chargers sideline getting an explanation.
Personal foul called against Providence Day.
Unnecessary roughness against Providence Day and an unsportsmanlike against Providence Day.
Back-to-back penalties.
So essentially 30 yards worth of penalties against Providence Day, but they keep the football. And Chad Greer will likely be very conservative here and look to just get into halftime, as he will be backed up very, very deep inside his own end.
With the
Chris James will burn some timeouts.
Yeah, maybe. With the 30 yards of penalties, you see the spot there. It's at the 7-yard line of Providence Day. So with the 30, it becomes half the distance to the goal.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I wanted to clean that up, because the first one was likely the full 15.
Yeah.
The second one very likely half the distance because of that.
Well, the first one was also on the play,
and I think
prior to a spot being determined.
I think Greer's frustration here is he felt like the penalty during the play, the personal foul, I think he feels like it should have been the other way or on both teams. I think Chad was maybe expecting that first one to be an offsetting situation and then just the unsportsmanlike on Sanders.
Couple of extra moments for both teams to
gather their thoughts.
Yeah, get on the same page. Obviously, Chad Greer explaining what went down to his team.
Those are the kinds of situational things that you have to be aware of. Can't give away that kind of field position in a tight ball game.
Yeah, this otherwise would have been 1st and 10 for PD, right around the 30-yard line. And now we will resume. Cooper on the handoff. Brought down by Porter right as he got to the hole.
Gets it out to the 10-yard line.
Looks like Chris James will be content to go to the half as well.
Second and 8.
Charlotte Christian does get the kick to open up the third quarter.
Providence Day does not have to snap it again here.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the first.
And that is halftime. Good game thus far through 2 quarters of play. Providence Day hosting and leading 14-7 in a state semifinal rivalry game. Winner will advance to play Rabun Gap or Christ School in the state championship.
Every morning we rise before the sun, driven by passion, fueled by determination. We train hard, we stay focused, and we never give up because we know that every drop of sweat, every ounce of effort brings us closer to our dreams. But it's not just about the physical. Staying healthy and hydrating is key. Dairy gives us protein, electrolytes, and other key nutrients we need to recover and stay strong. Because greatness isn't just built on the field, it's built in the choices we make every day. Milk's got game. Do you?
The Dairy Alliance is the official milk partner for high school championship events. With 8 grams of complete protein per serving, milk helps you build muscle, stay active, and recover. Muscle up with milk. Follow them at the Dairy Alliance on Instagram or Facebook to learn more. The NCISAA is proud to use Wilson footballs. For athletes to perform their best, they require the best. For over 100 years, that's what Wilson has delivered. Not only is Wilson used on more high school football fields than any other brand, but it's also the official ball of the NFL and NCAA. Learn more at wilson.com. And don't miss your chance to purchase official NCISAA championship merchandise for the NCISAA Football State Championship by visiting ncISAA.org. Northwest Designs is an official merchandise partner of the NCISAA.
Life doesn't always go as planned, but North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance is here to help pick up the pieces. Our award-winning claims team will have you back on the road in no time, because helping you is what we do best.
Just because you can't be there for her game doesn't mean you can't be there for her.
Hey there, everyone. We are here with Grant Williams of the Charlotte Hornets. And Grant, you grew up in Charlotte. You played at Providence Day. When you found out you were coming back to Charlotte, to the Queen City, what kind of went through your mind?
Excitement. Just super excited. A little bit of nervousness just because you never know what it's like playing in your hometown. But I was excited just because you get to build a franchise and hopefully you can get it back to the success that you remember having sometimes as a kid. And if you can establish it as a great organization for years to come, there's nothing better for being a Charlottean.
So from there, off to the SEC, the University of Tennessee. Charlotte's kind of ACC country. Just how tough is the SEC, and how tough was it, back then?
It was the best conference in college basketball at the time. I think you can make an argument with the Big 12, but the SEC, when I was in it, was one of the best, if not the best, conference to play in. And it was an exciting time just to be able to play for Coach Barnes, the second year, new staff, new kind of foundation there at Tennessee. And it reminds me a little bit of now with Charlotte. It's just a new foundation. Hopefully we can continue to build it to be a dominant franchise just like Tennessee is right now in college basketball.
We're early on in this season. What excites you about this team, what you've seen so far this early on?
Our ability to communicate with one another. We haven't necessarily turned it into wins, but that's something that you need throughout the course of the season. It's a long year. We're only 7 games in, and you have more than 75, you have 75 left. So we just have to stay together and stay competitive, and I think our team has talent enough to win. You just got to stay healthy and make sure we do all the right things to go into winning.
I've been in a couple games, and the thing I love is Coach Lee and his energy and enthusiasm. What has he brought to this team?
A level of passion, care, and charisma. He has a lot of honest opinions, and he communicates those to players. He does a good job of not only communicating at a personal level, but also to a group level. And he's been a great coach for us, so we just got to continue to support him in those times. He is a rookie too, so as a head coach, so we got to support him as much as he supports us.
Final question for you. A team always has what they want to see at the end of the season, what success looks like. For you as an individual player, is that any different from the team? Do you have your own goals maybe before the season?
Yeah, every player, I feel like, has their individual goals and their team goals, but you have to make sure they're synonymous. You can't weigh your individual goals more than anything else. You can weigh your team goals more than individual goals. That's how I look at it. So our job is to do our job, to come in daily improvement day by day, and hopefully we can make the playoffs and compete for one of those titles.
Grant Williams, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Jeff.
Appreciate it.
Welcome into the Ortho Carolina halftime report on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. I'm Darren Vaught. Reggie Walker is with me. 14-7, Providence Day on top of rival Charlotte Christian. This is the third year in a row we've seen this matchup in the postseason. And the winner of this semifinal game will play the winner of Rabun Gap and Christ School in the state title game a week from tonight. So, Reggie, in this one, it's been a very defensive game, a struggle in a lot of cases.
And it started with the first drive. Listen, the first drive, Providence Day was able to get points in the way of a field goal, but it was a 7.5-minute drive. They had to methodically march their way down the field to put some points on the board. And then really the big highlight, the one big highlight, if you will, offensively for Charlotte Christian, you see Jamal Rule with the 70-plus yard touchdown run there. And then eventually this Providence Day offense got it going a little bit after another field goal. There's the touchdown pass. They ended up going for 2 to take this game to 14-7. But a very, very defensive-minded first half. And I think clearly illustrated and not a surprise because these two teams know each other so well. This is essentially the sixth matchup. I take that back. The seventh matchup in the last 3 seasons.
Just over 200 yards of offense for Providence Day, 93 for Charlotte Christian, with 73 of those coming from the same play, the Jamal Rule touchdown run. It has been a struggle. It looks to continue to be a struggle as the Knights will get the opening kick to begin the third quarter of action. Still halftime here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. We've got a good one in the NCISAA State semifinal.
The first question out of a kid's mouth is, when can I get back to doing what I want to do?
So in 2019, I was in class and I was doing a jump that I've been doing since I was maybe 6 years old. And my foot went one knee, my knee went the other, and my knee dislocated. It amazes me how I went through what I went through and I was still able to continue my dreams.
The Bahakel Sports Game of the Week halftime report is brought to you by Ortho Carolina. Ortho Carolina is proud to serve as the official orthopedic care provider for NCISAA and is committed to empowering those who may be impacted by injuries. In partnership with the Hurt mobile app, Ortho Carolina provides free, on-the-go, real-time access to orthopedic specialists 365 days a year. Prepare yourself now for those unexpected moments by downloading the Hurt app. Ortho Carolina, committed to being the better choice. All right, I'm Darren Vaught. Reggie Walker is with me. If you were tuned in for the first half, you knew that much. We've got a special guest,
Yes.
senior at Providence Day. Charlie Hitt joins us now for the third quarter. Charlie, I understand it's a ski theme. We saw you with your goggles. It's a little warm for that. You say when you guys normally do it, it's like puffy jackets and the whole bit, but tough to do when it's as humid as it is.
It's a little bit different tonight, like you guys are saying. I mean, I told you guys off the air, it's more like water skiing tonight. This game is usually the cold one, so it's an excuse to wear the puffer jackets, but not very needed tonight.
Well, we're glad to have you for the third quarter
Yeah.
here, as this one's been tight. What are your thoughts on your Chargers so far?
Well, I think it's been slow. It's been a really slow start on offense. I'm impressed with the defense. I mean, Zaid Lott had an incredible throw to end that second half touchdown in the corner. I believe it was Steele Fletcher, who's been a really consistent piece to the Chargers offense all season long. So if they can continue doing what they did on that drive, it should be a fun second half.
Charlie's dialed in. Look at that. we got an insider. So let me ask you this. What was the vibe on campus today going into this game? Obviously, Charlotte Christian, very close by. The teams know each other. All of you guys kind of know each other. What was the vibe in school today?
We were all really excited. I think especially us, the senior class, this is our last home game that we're going to be able to watch for our Chargers football team, which, we've watched for 3 years now and more for people who've been here for longer. And, Christian is a very familiar opponent. We've played him in a lot of state championship games. So, again, I think we were all really excited forward to this game.
Absolutely. Now, I got to ask you, we know the big fella, David Sanders, your classmate, if you will, both seniors.
Oh, yeah.
He's on his way to Tennessee. He's committed there, the prize of that recruiting class. What are some of these seniors like around school throughout the day? I mean, these guys they're well-known. They're football players. David Sanders, by all accounts, is one of the nicest people. What's he like to talk to and see in school during the day?
Well, you said it. I mean, nice is the first word that comes to mind. It's really funny that he's going to Tennessee. My parents both went to Tennessee, so I'm a big Falls fan. I mean, I've known him since he came to PD in 8th grade. He's a really, really great kid, very involved on campus, so it's great to see him succeeding the way he is.
Touchback to start the second half as Charlotte Christian begins with possession, down a touchdown. Well, David Sanders has been a handful, big number 70 there in red. A key cog in this Providence Day defense, which has been the linchpin of this team this season.
And it's interesting because this is a fairly young defense, a lot of sophomores and juniors. I think there's something like 7 or 8 sophomores that play regularly on this defense.
Owen Farrell on a play fake, completes a quick pass out to Brandon Hetwer, his usually a tight end. He was split out that time.
They've got to find a way to get these linebackers and some of these support players out of the box so that they can try to run the football more. I like that call.
And I'm sure you guys have already mentioned the incredible defensive line that Providence Day has. Aubin Kwa, David Sanders, just to name a couple. I mean, they've been fantastic all season long.
2 in motion. We've seen that a lot out of the Knights. Farrell gives Jamal Rule, head of steam, wrangled just past the 30-yard line. That's a great tackle by Brennan Drummond, potentially saving a touchdown. And it's another first down brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988-24/7. Let's get through it together.
Knights pick up a first down.
That was a quick run. I mean, I blinked and I felt like I missed the entire play.
His speed's deceiving, right? Reg, you were telling me after seeing him earlier in the season that he gets to the edge and then you don't expect it to turn on the way that it does, much like we saw on the 73-yard touchdown run in the first half.
Yeah, he goes from working his way to exploding very, very quickly as you see the injured player coming off the field there.
Braxton Winston, senior DB.
Number 6, the injured Charger.
He's getting help. He does seem to be bearing a lot of that weight on his own, so that's encouraging.
He's such a bit of a limp. He's such a big part of this defense. Coach Greer told me that he doesn't stand out on the stat sheet, but it's really because he's out there on an island and the quarterbacks just don't want to throw to him.
Farrell, quick screen pass. Tate E-step. Past the 45 before being brought down.
Really because he's out there on an island and the quarterbacks just don't want to throw to him.
I'll tell you what, this play right here defensively, this play that made by Galloway, that was unbelievable to chase that down from behind because there was a chance that one could go bigger. Now a little tempo from Charlotte Christian right there.
Up to midfield. Gain of 4, it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Knights.
Very, very late getting up there for the Chargers. The linebacker there, number 7, Quentin McCray. Hope he's okay.
He ran in the 2-point conversion. It made it a 7-point lead for Providence Day. Farrell hands off. Rule again quick to the outside, but brought down in a hurry. Brennan Drummond again. That's another tackle solo on the outskirts of the play that has kept it from being a much longer run.
You're going to have to tackle in space here in the second half if you're going to keep this Christian offense out of the end zone. If Rule gets out there in space, you got to find a way to get him on the ground. Farrell is as dangerous as well. Not as big, not as physical, but he can get outside and create problems.
So 3rd and 5 for Charlotte Christian. They converted just 1 of 5 third downs in the first half. Play fake. Farrell running backward. Completes it to Hetwer. And it will bring up 4th down.
Well, that's where Providence Day has been so good on defense all season long. They've had a fantastic 3rd down defense. And, I mean, you see it there again.
This 4th down brought to you by NC Medicaid. For more people, get full health care coverage with $4 maximum copays. Find out more at medicaid.nc.gov.
I like this decision to go for it.
Rule carries on 4th and 4. Changes direction up the middle and got to the stick. Yep, they're going to advance. Wow. 1st and 10 for the Knights.
He got just enough. This is well done by Rule. Works to the left side and watch this cut right there to get up inside and then gets those shoulders down so he can drive forward and pick up that 1st down.
I mean, he is a hard runner, but he's shifty too. If you watch the NFL, he reminds me of Isaiah Pacheco on the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, he's just full head of steam every run.
That's not bad. How do you like that comp, Reg?
How about that?
That's okay.
I was trying to think of who he reminded me of.
Pacheco he's such a violent, twitchy runner. But the key there being violent and very straightforward, very aggressive with the way he runs the football. Rule is the same. I like that comparison, actually.
Farrell hands off. It's L.J. Porter this time. So good to see him back in. He was nicked up on a play earlier in the game.
Slips 1 tackle and gains 1 on the play. 2nd and 9.
Short gain of 1. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Knights. And just like that, Porter exits. Jamal Rule will be the lead back. Rule, top of your screen, lined up in the slot, though.
It's an interesting formation.
They fake the give to Rule. Farrell goes up the middle himself and does not gain much ground at all.
Yeah, that's great penetration there by Funderburk, number 51. He kind of blew that play up, messed up the timing, and then they're able to minimize that. And as you see, David Sanders going to have to come off the field for a play as his helmet came off.
No gain on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 9.
No gain, 3rd and 9. Just 1 third down conversion so far in this game for the Knights. It was the 73-yard touchdown run.
long here. Got to be smart, protect the football, but you want to make sure your routes get beyond the sticks so you can try to throw this football for a first down if you're going to do that. Otherwise, guys, I'll tell you, rule is in play here because this could be 4-down territory.
Farrell to throw. Chased from behind. It's caught. Completed to Corbin Hall, who's finally down at the 11-yard line.
How about this? This is great job by Farrell. Steps up in the pocket away from the rush, and then a great job adjusting to the football by Corbin Hall.
LJ Porter, number 11.
1st and 10 for the Knights. They're at the 11-yard line. And they let Jamal Rule go to work. Inside the 5 he goes.
How about that guy? You can see and sense the way he's feeling and smells the end zone there. Physical. Finishes the run falling forward.
2nd and goal for the 2.
Rule again. Slips into the end zone for the touchdown.
It's just too easy for him. I mean, you saw the blockers. Really nice blocking, by the way, by those 2 wide receivers on the right side. It was an easy touchdown. I mean, that Providence State defensive line that's been so good all season long really need to step it up on that play, but they just couldn't.
Extra point is tipped and blocked. So instead of tying it at 14, Providence State blocks the point after attempt and remains ahead by 1. 5.5 to play in the 3rd on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
I am Bruno Hinojosa and I live in Asheville. I work in construction and I just enrolled in NC Medicaid. I went to their website, applied, and got covered. Doctor visits, yearly checkups, and even emergency care if I need it. Being a business owner can be stressful at times, but knowing that I got covered, it just takes weight off my shoulders. And I can get the care that I need when I need it at low or no cost. And it's one less thing I need to worry about now.
NC Medicaid is for more people. See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
At North Carolina, Farm Bureau Insurance, being local for our customers and their families matters. That's why we're a proud supporter of NCISAA. Whether it's supporting student athletes or giving back to local communities, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance is here when you need us. Touchdown of the night for Charlotte Christian's Jamal Rule. Brings it within 1 after the blocked extra point for the Knights. This is returnable for Providence Day. And up to the 30-yard line.
They've done a nice job when they've had opportunities in the special teams game to return. They've had some really solid returns so far in this game.
And that's where the Chargers will take over, 1st and 10.
You see number 21, Ian Klein, on the sideline. I believe he's out tonight, right?
He's been in.
He has been in, all right.
It's interesting. Coach Greer had indicated that he might not play at all. And he did have a carry on the very first series. So they've given him a carry probably per possession. But you can tell, Reggie mentioned it earlier, you can tell he's just not 100%.
No, he's really, really struggling, seemingly to have the burst that we're used to seeing from him.
Steele Fletcher, the man in motion there. Intended target, it's incomplete.
See, those are the throws that you got to be able to hit, got to be able to complete in a game like this. Tight ball game. opportunities to score not very vast. Have to do a nice job of taking what's there and maximizing every opportunity.
And I think a lot of this could be nerves. I mean, this is his first really competitive playoff game that he's starting in high school. It's been slow so far, but he's had some really good throws.
Lott again to throw, that time Sodoma.
That was a rocket. That was one of the things I noticed about Lott pregame is when he needs to, he can put some velocity on the football and get that thing in there. He's a kid that you watch him on film, and you might think he's kind of rail thin, pretty light. And then you get a chance to walk up on him and see him in person physically. He's fairly imposing. He's a bigger upper body guy than you would think.
Third down. Lott finds Himes, his intended target, to convert.
How about Himes and the footwork there? Watch his feet here after the catch. Watch him just kind of dance on the sideline with defenders on him. See, he's still in bounds, picking up yardage there.
Coach Greer compared him to Tyreek Hill before the season started. I mean, you can really see it every time he catches the ball and has some space. He's lightning quick.
Cooper with the carry, right up the gut, still on his feet. Well, not anymore because he's been lifted up off of them by L.J. Porter.
Well, a combination of L.J. Porter and then David Sanders pushing the other way.
That'll do it.
That's not a – I don't know if that's a place I want to be between those two guys.
Whether it's in your best interest to gain yardage or not, right? Goes down as a loss of 1, so 2nd and 11 for Providence Day. Lott, quick throw. Out for Sellers. Nice gain.
Little screen concept out there to the right side. Sellers just working back towards the middle of the field. The only thing I would tell him, keep coming towards the football to create some additional angles when you get up the field.
Gain of 7. That makes it 3rd and 4. Pressure from the Knights. Catch on the hitch. Sellers escapes a man, then another. Into the end zone for the Chargers score.
Well, we've seen Providence Day do that all season long. It's one of Coach Greer's favorite plays. He puts Gordon Sellers up top on an island, does a quick hitch or curl route, and lets him cook. He's got to break one tackle, move another one. There you go. And then nobody is catching him down that sideline.
Lott to Sellers, 44 yards for the touchdown. And Providence Day with the extra point, a chance to go up 8. Whistles, we've seen that a lot on special teams.
Yeah, they're calling offsides here, but I don't think you need to stop the play there.
It's the second time we've seen that one specifically.
And now Chad's going to go for 2 again.
Yeah, yep. That penalty is what allowed the Chargers to go for 2 and make it square again at 14-7 earlier.
That could
I love
be
this aggressiveness.
That could be a really crucial penalty for Charlotte Christian, because if Providence Day converts this 2-point attempt, then it's a 2-score game.
Charlie's all over it. That's a great point.
I was about to say the same thing.
It becomes a 9-point game. It just looks very different.
Lott takes it himself. And that's the 2-point conversion, 22-13. Chargers ahead in the 3rd.
Yeah, I love it. They get up to the line of scrimmage quickly. They're in there tight. It looks like maybe they'll hand it to the up man again instead. Lott keeps, takes it into the end zone.
But you guys were mentioning earlier, he's a really big guy. I mean, that was just easy. Can't stop that.
He's big and he's long at about 6'4". I think he's listed around 210. That's about right, but a lot of it's upstairs in the chest and in his arms. Can only imagine what happens if he as he continues to fill his body out. Could be talking about a 220-plus pound quarterback at 6'4", with a big arm. Young man's got a lot of talent. It's going to be interesting to see him develop another year in high school and what he becomes on his way to college.
2 touchdown passes tonight for Zaid Lott. Puts his total at 25 for the season. Rule and Rosen back deep on the kickoff. Not returnable. Another touchback. So both offenses, after Reg, a relatively defensive first half, both offenses with scores in the second half, seemingly coming into their own, finding themselves. For the Knights, it was via the run. That was expected. Jamal Rule is the pace setter. And for Providence Day, they like, I'll use that front half of that word, pace. They like tempo. They've exercised that a lot more so far in the second half. First play from scrimmage for the Knights goes to Jamal Rule around the edge. There he goes again, finding space.
Does he step out of bounds?
Just stepped out.
Wow.
Otherwise, that was going to go for another long run.
That was a great job by L.J. Porter, just getting a piece of David Sanders so that Rule could turn that corner on the block. And if Rule stays in bounds there, it's an opportunity to put 6 more on the board.
Tall task. He got around Justin Abankwah at the edge, and I think that's the point at which he kind of tilted his body to get out. Kairos Gaines, meanwhile,
it's the second time in this game he's kind of left the game a little bit banged up.
You really don't like to see that if you're Providence Day. I'm sure you guys had mentioned, but he's just been phenomenal this season. Top 5 in the state in interceptions. And you've seen the recruiting for him really pick up this season. He's a Miami of Ohio commit, got a James Madison offer over this summer. He's got Michigan State, Wisconsin, Duke, all here in the past month or two.
How about that right there on that play? The timing was jacked up. Little collision in the backfield between Farrell and his backs.
After a collision in the backfield, keeps it.
Not everybody on the same page there. Timing messed up, and somehow Farrell, that's the athleticism and the no panic in him, picks up a couple of yards. And speaking of picking up, the winner of this game will play the winner of Rabun Gap and Christ School. 42-0 Rabun Gap right now over Christ School in the third quarter with about 5.5 to go.
So likely another trip to Georgia for whoever would come out of this matchup here.
And interestingly enough, the last time Providence Day played Rabun Gap, they had a 1-point lead going into the fourth quarter, ended up losing by 33.
Jamal Rule, a nice run, slips between a couple of defenders, brought down by Quentin McCray in the second level.
He's just so difficult to bring down. Watch him here as he works to the right, to the outside. They get some hands on him, but this is not a guy you're going to bring down with arm tackles. You got no chance doing that.
I mean, in reality, they could just hand it off to him on all 3 downs, and they'd probably just keep plugging and chugging down the field.
And if it's 4th and 1,
do it again.
I'm going to trust him getting it anyway.
I'd do it if it was 4th and 10.
Farrell dumps it to L.J. Porter. He's across midfield and pushed out of bounds. I mean, look, there's an argument to be made for exactly what you just said, Charlie, entering tonight. 9.6 yards per carry on the season for Jamal Rule.
And you're also, Darren, talking to, as your broadcast partner, just a slight reminder, and you already know this, but I went to Penn State. We believe in 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
It's kind of their thing. Kind of their thing.
At least it was for about 46 years.
I think when you committed there, you signed a contract to utter those words at least once per day.
Absolutely. But that was not the case against Ohio State in the red zone the other night. Just throwing that out there.
I didn't even want to bring that up, but
I'll bring it. That's fine.
Okay.
And there's an official's timeout.
I'm not quite sure what this is for.
Somebody whose cars like AAA for maintenance and repair, AAA car care to dependable auto insurance. Always fresh AAA car batteries and AAA roadside assistance.
I never saw an official signal other than official's timeout.
Details visit AAA.com/WeKnowAuto. That's AAA.
They're not rushing the teams out of the huddles.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, being local for their customers and their families matters. That's why they're a proud supporter of NCISAA. Whether it's supporting student athletes or giving back to local communities, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance is there when you need them. Inexplicably, a short timeout.
Out of the official timeout, it's 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 for Charlotte Christian. Owen Farrell gives Jamal Rule. Big juke to the outside, down the hash. Gets the first down. Ruled down at the 40-yard line.
That was really well done. There was a blitzer coming into the hole that he wanted to run through initially, so he just kind of bounced it to the outside and picked up more yardage.
A lot more of this two-back system for the Knights, enlisting the help of L.J. Porter here in the second half. Fakes the give to Rule. Farrell battered as he runs up the middle himself for the short gain.
You see how this running game for Charlotte Christian has impacted Providence Day's defense. On that last play, the farthest back a defender was about 8 yards.
Yeah,
everybody's crowding the box.
That's right. Yeah, they're bringing them tight to the box. That's a great observation. That's one of the factors. And then getting back to your point, Darren, on the two-back system, if one of them goes if they're going opposite directions, it creates a lot of conflict for this defense as well, because all three of those guys, if you add Farrell into the mix, very, very dangerous.
Farrell, play fake, rolling. And nowhere to go but out of bounds.
That's a great job by Griff Galloway. He's got enough speed so that Farrell couldn't turn that corner easily and cleanly and truly get up the field, forced him to angle his way to get a couple of yards and nothing more.
Another third down for the Knights. 1 of 2 in the second half, after converting just 1 of 5 in the first. What do you think? Give it to Rule?
Oh, 100%. This is 4-down territory.
Rule up the gut. It's going to be stopped short of the first down. Some pile pushing after a gain of 3.
I think that's the first time Rule has been on the ground. Seems like he's always either out of bounds or they just blow the whistle to stop his or they blow the whistle to stop his forward progress.
Yeah.
But he doesn't go to the ground. It's just so strong.
You know what I think they should do on 4th and 2? Run it again.
Let me guess.
Same thing that's been working all season.
I think Charlie may have written the keys to the game for us.
Oh, movement.
I think they got someone to jump.
On the far side of that defensive line, that's David Sanders.
Guess they say he did not get into the neutral zone.
It's kind of a favorable call there.
Now Farrell, option, pitches, Rule's way. Plenty for the first down, and a gain of about 10.
Haven't seen a lot of the true option in this game from this offense. But right here, this is a perfect time to do it. You know they're loading up. Nice job on the pitch. They get it sealed just enough for him to turn the corner and pick up the first down.
And the Chargers haven't seen that used against them all season long. Really nice play call.
Rule flipped over near the 15-yard line. A lot of space between the hashes.
Workhorse on this drive.
Rule's coming downhill. You got to make a decision. Able to execute and get him on the ground, but great field position, great opportunity here for Charlotte Christian to cut into this lead. The question becomes, if they do score here, in my mind, I think you kick the extra point. There's no sense in chasing points here because it puts you within 2 if you get the extra point. Getting you within 1, it still doesn't change anything. You still need a field goal to take the lead.
Yeah. But then think about this. If Providence Day scores a touchdown, if you convert the 2-point conversion, then it's still a 1-score game.
Another give to Rule. He gets the first down, and it's goal to go.
Young Charlie's a scholar. He's locked into the analytics. I love it.
Touché.
I'm trying to keep up my math skills up here.
Hey, every college that he's applied to, if you don't accept them yesterday, you're making a mistake.
Yeah, what was your math SAT score?
I'm proud of it.
That's the end of the third quarter. Stay with us on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week, the NCISAA State Semifinal, 22-13. AAA car batteries and AAA roadside assistance. Trust AAA for the life of your vehicle. Details. Visit AAA.com/WeKnowAuto. All right, guys, get your 4s up. Fourth quarter, state semifinal between Providence Day and Charlotte Christian. And the Knights knocking on the door.
Here to start the fourth quarter. Nice ball.
Jamal Rule evades tacklers at the line of scrimmage and is down at the 1-yard line. Wow, he almost made that an exceptional touchdown run. You're so close, though. No use in risking it with reaching with the football.
Absolutely, but even more impressive, getting underneath Griff Galloway there to avoid that tackle, which likely would have been a negative play, and he finds himself down to the 1-yard line.
Rule again. A clutter of red.
Bad snap.
I was going to say, looks like some miscommunication there.
Snap was a little bit high, I thought there. And the mesh and the timing got thrown off. Looked like Rule and Farrell kind of ran into each other more than anything. Messed up the timing there. And if you're Providence Day, the positive is the clock is still running. Again, you have essentially a 2-possession lead. The clock is your friend in this scenario.
Third and goal for the Knights. The ball is at the 3-yard line.
I just handed off 2 more times. Oh.
Flag out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, somebody's got too many men on the field, and I think they're going to grant it's going to be a Charlotte Christian timeout. They were going to end up with an illegal substitution. They had 12 in the formation. Wow.
That's a huge break.
Delay of game. Charlotte Christian calls timeout.
First taken of the second half for Charlotte Christian. They have 2 remaining.
Hey fans, don't miss your chance
Lucky to get that one in
NCIS State Championship
under the wire.
by visiting the soccer page on ncisaa.org. Northwest Designs is an
Because the difference between being at the 2-yard line and being at the 7-yard line, especially on third down, in these later downs, third and fourth, that's huge.
Absolutely. From a play sheet standpoint, when you start looking at that call sheet, there's a lot more stuff in the 5 yards or less category than it is in the 6 yards or more category.
And when you simplify it the way that Charlotte Christian does, giving the ball to Jamal Rule so much, it just makes it easier, 5 yards and in. I mean, again, I know it's 9+ per carry on the season, but conventional running of the football likes the shorter distances more. Back to left side. Farrell rolling for the pylon himself and tiptoes into the end zone.
Number 2, Owen Farrell, looking for somebody but takes it in himself.
I mean, why hand it off
For the Knights touchdown.
when you have a quarterback that can just do the same thing?
This is also a defensive execution issue. You can see the pursuit angle right there. Great job. Just a last-minute block there by Vincent Rosen, but you had 2 players converging. You got to stay outside. You have one coming inside out. You can make that play potentially at the 1-yard line. Instead, you duck inside as the defensive back on the edge there, and Farrell's able to go outside and get in the end zone.
Elijah Boyth on for the extra point. Almost blocked again, but it is through. So there we go, a 2-point game here in the fourth quarter.
And now if you're Charlotte Christian, you got to feel really, really good about the situation you're in. Your defense has played pretty well most of this game. You've gotten some stops in some big situations. Now you're challenging your defense right now. If you're Coach James, go get me one more stop. And if you're Chad Greer in this offense, the perfect recipe is what we saw at the beginning of this game. A 7-minute drive that nets you with some points. If you can have a 7-minute drive that gets you a touchdown here, by and large, you have put this football game away.
One thing to keep in mind in these late possession drives, is Ian Klein. I mean, he's not playing tonight, so Providence Day is going to have to rely more on that pass game. So who knows? They may not run down as much clock as they'd like to.
Absolutely. No, that's a great point. Not having Ian Klein is a factor. Now, Caleb Cooper has done an excellent job running the football so far in this game. He's been solid all throughout the season when they've needed to lean on him, I should say, in those situations. So I think it'll be very, very important to Charlie, your point. What can they do in terms of being able to move the football, keep the chains moving, but also eat up some of this clock and put some points on the board? The conversation right now, I think if you're Chad Greer, is simply one word: finish.
Still a lot of football left, not quite 10.5 minutes. Boyth's kick, low-lying, pulled in at the 1, so it's returnable. And Castle tripped up shy of the 30-yard line.
Tell you what, if he's able to keep his feet there, he had a chance for a huge return. But field position at the 30, that's about as good as it gets. I think you got to feel good about that if you're Providence Day. Now, can you get Sellers going? Can you get him the football, see if he can make a play for you? And also Cooper continuing to run the football. How is his conditioning as a bell cow back at this point in the game?
Receivers disperse on 1st and 10. Lott Zips it for Himes, who was coming back near midfield. 14 yards on the reception and a first down.
That's the operative word in what you just said, are words, coming back. Himes continued to come back to his quarterback to meet the football instead of waiting for the football. That is how you run that route the right way.
Another 1st and 10. Lott steps up and through. Across midfield, out of bounds.
He's like right at the stick. And that's a first down. That's well done by Lott.
He's got sneaky athleticism.
It's another first down brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988-24/7. Let's get through it together. Consecutive plays, consecutive firsts for the Chargers. Lott, no panic, escapes up the middle and slides for yet another first down.
Yeah, he wanted to go to Himes out to the right, and it's just nothing there. It was covered up. That's a great job. Not panicking there, just takes off, picks up the first down, and then I love the slide to make sure he doesn't take any unnecessary contact.
And how about that pump fake, too? He got one of the defenders up 2 feet in the air. And the ability and willingness, like you guys said, to step up into the pocket and run that football.
Play fake. Lott finds Bauer-Sodoma. Shy of the first down that time.
Such a great route. You're outside, you come in motion to the edge of the formation, and then as the ball is snapped, you're able to work your way immediately back to the outside. It's almost impossible to cover that route, and they're able to pick up positive yardage.
7 yards on the play. Lott gives. Cooper skipped up the middle, shoved a man off of him. Felt like he deserved maybe more than a yard or two on that.
Yeah, that was a tough yard to get.
This is a big play now, 3rd down and 1. You know, like we mentioned before the drive started, the clock. They've only run down about 2 minutes. They've been pushing it really quickly down the field, which is great. But now you have yourself in a really tough situation.
Lott to throw it on 3rd and 1. Incomplete. He was looking for Himes. It's broken up by Rosen.
I got to think that was because they expected to likely
go for
on
4th
down.
No doubt. Providence Day, Reg, playing ahead of schedule, ahead of the chains, a lot more in the second half. I mentioned earlier in the first half, they didn't have a 3rd down attempt inside of 8 yards to go in the entire first half. They were 2 of 7 as a result. They've converted on 2 3rd and 4s, unsuccessful on that 3rd and 1, but it allows them to do this on 4th down and move the chains.
That's a big pickup, not only in terms of trying to add and finish this drive with a touchdown in terms of points, but also this offensive line got a chance to move some people. That'll continue to add to their confidence and trust in what they can do at the line of scrimmage as well.
We saw the Chargers go for it on 4th and 27 a few games ago earlier in the season. They ended up scoring a touchdown on that play. I mean, these 4th downs are just no-brainers for Chad Greer.
1st and 10 from the 24. Lott goes over the middle, and it drops incomplete. He was looking for Fletcher again.
Yeah, but I think he missed an opportunity there. I thought he could have gone out in the flat to his back. That would have been an easy catch and run for Cooper and a positive play there. I think they might have missed an opportunity for an easy completion.
I've got my eyes on Gordon Sellers on this play. It looks like he's going to have a one-on-one opportunity. 2nd and 10, so it's a passing down. I'd love to see Lott trying to get him the ball.
Sellers takes his route over the middle. Lott drops the football after avoiding 3 potential sacks.
Under pressure, the ball comes loose.
He fell on it and got it back for Providence Day, but that was chaotic.
Yeah, this is where you got to make a decision, and part of the reason you can't make one is because they're swarming defensively. You got to protect that football. Sometimes when you start to see that start to collapse like that, just cover it up with 2 hands and get on the ground, and don't make a bad situation worse.
That was a play full of bad news. There was just defender after defending coming right at him. He was avoiding them. Lost the football, but I think the biggest positive, of course, is that they got it right back.
Now it's 3rd and 18. This looks a lot more like a 3rd down from what we saw in the first half. Lott steps up, throws, hit as it was caught. Sellers was the intended man, and it's incomplete.
How about that play by Eric Lyon? Well done. Great job driving on that route to separate that football. First of all, look at Lott, steps up. Great job by Caleb Cooper in that backfield, picking up that block on the blitz, and then Lyon drives on that route and forces the incompletion.
They've got some really good kickers on this Chargers team, but I think this is the right decision to go for it. It's going to be tough, but we've seen them do it.
4th and 18. Lott to throw. Gets a block. Lots of time over the middle. Oh, just a bit too high for Himes.
Oh, he had him open too. Himes looked like he just found a soft spot in that defense, but like you guys said, just a little bit too high.
It's a little bit behind him as well. I think if that ball brings him more across the field, I think they have a chance to complete it.
Himes getting some coaching from former Charger, Jordan Shipp.
He's been playing well at Chapel Hill this year.
Seems to love it. We mentioned earlier we got a chance to say hey to him in Coach Greer's office pregame. So now Charlotte Christian down 2, 6:51 remaining. With the football, Farrell after the play fake, airs it incomplete.
Farrell looking downfield, number 80. Brendan Hetler.
Tried to go with the shot play early, see if they can get a quick one, a quick big play and flip this field at minimum. Unable to get it completed. Great job by the Providence State defense. Everybody stayed home on the back end.
Rule has it on 2nd down. Bumped, but still up and out of bounds.
Winston did a nice job, but he wasn't able to finish with a tackle. Great job by Rule. Just that physicality just bounces off and picks up an additional couple of yards.
You like to see Charlotte Christian going back to what's been working. That 2-back set, handoff out way outside. Good pickup, but it's going to be a tough 3rd down here.
They need 6.
Reggie, this could be 4-down territory.
Rule up the middle, a flag, top of your screen.
Is this likely going to be a hold or potentially a formation issue? As that flag came out immediately, or somebody was lined up in the neutral zone.
Gain of 1 on the play.
So potentially it's going to back up Charlotte Christian's 3rd down attempt. Although it wasn't
Illegal formation is called.
That's a great run,
illegal
yeah.
Formation.
Illegal formation.
5 in the backfield.
Penalty is declined.
And the penalty is declined. Again, it was a short run by Rule, so it's 4th down and 4 to gain.
All of a sudden, David Sanders is animated. Big number 70 in red. I think he feels like this is an opportunity to win the game. You see him there defensively, patting his head. He is fired up for this big 4th down.
Really interesting formation. Okay, they're bringing him to the backfield.
Rule on the jet sweep. Did he get enough? He does not. Turnover on downs. Timeout on the field. Charlie Hitt, thanks for joining us. We're going to do this one down the stretch. We've got a tight one, just a 2-point game on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
NC Medicaid is for people just like me.
Adults who don't have children.
People who serve.
People who do the heavy lifting.
Child care teachers. Full healthcare coverage at low or no cost.
Doctor's visits, emergency rooms, and prescriptions.
So if you applied before and didn't get it, apply again.
NC Medicaid covers more people than ever before.
Get full healthcare coverage at low cost, no monthly fees, and $4 max copays. NC Medicaid is for more people. See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
Nobody knows cars like AAA. From maintenance and repair at AAA Car Care to dependable auto insurance, always fresh AAA car batteries and AAA roadside assistance. Trust AAA for the life of your vehicle. For details, visit AAA.com/WeKnowAuto.
How about this formation?
5 wide receivers, 4 to a single side, and Zaid Lott runs it up the middle himself for a 1st down.
That is a huge 1st down.
Finally brought down number 50, Aaron Boykin. But that's a Charger. First down.
Same thing, 5 wide, high snap. Lott goes up and taps it to himself. And that disrupts everything.
But he did right. He didn't try to do anything spectacular. He just got it and just made sure not to let disaster strike, if you will.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for PD.
This 4 wide receiver look is an attempt to create one-on-one situations. There it is.
On a quick slant, and it's caught by Sellers.
He had a one-on-one at the top of the screen backside with off coverage, so he just works to the inside. Quick throw, easy pitch and catch on the slant.
Chargers threatening with a 2-point lead to extend their lead. A step back into the backfield for David Sanders. He's the lead blocker. And Cooper
How about this? All of a sudden, that's your motion man.
Cooper, number 28.
The all-world left tackle on his way to Tennessee. And he drives L.J. Porter right out of the play. Well done by David Sanders. Like the play design there.
The rest of it didn't quite pan out.
Sanders running players on and off, trying to get a formation, get their alignment right here.
So now Cooper is in the backfield with Zaid Lott. Cooper catches and is wrapped up immediately by L.J. Porter.
That's the route, and that's the throw we talked about on the previous possession. You just knew they would eventually come back to it. They come back to it. Easy throw there. First down yardage, or I should say a positive yardage, to set up a very manageable third down.
They'll bring up 3rd and 3 now for PD.
3rd and 3 here for Providence Day. 2 for 4 on thirds in the second half. 4 of their 5, including this one, within 4 yards. A slow snap. Lott, plenty of time. Rolls out himself. Easy trot into the end zone. It's the 6th rushing touchdown of the season for Zaid Lott, and an extra point will put PD up by 2 scores again.
This is just a great job by Lott. Nothing there to the right side. Takes off to his left, gets north and south, and steps over lines into the end zone. Big time for Lott.
Flags on the Baggett extra point. And this time it is against Providence Day, so it's not going to be a situation where they're pulled a bit closer to the goal line and might go for 2, although I don't know that they would do that. Ian Klein in as the holder on this. Baggett kicks the extra point, and it's no good. That's interesting. It keeps it at a 1-score game.
Absolutely correct. Very significant. Because with 2:51 to go, there's obviously a possession left in the game. You had to think if it were a 9-point game, a 2-possession game, you had to start to wonder, would there be enough possessions left in the game to have a chance to score twice if you're Charlotte Christian? I think because of that, instead of potentially onside kick here, they may kick this ball deep. They've got some timeouts in their pocket. The defense has played fairly well in this game. You would think conventional wisdom would be to onside kick it. But instead, because of the missed extra point, there's a chance. You just need the 1 possession.
Number 30, Jacob Baggett.
1-possession game as Charlotte Christian will begin potentially its final series.
I lost myself there. I think I said something about an onside kick. Providence Day would not do that.
Well, no, I think I know what you were thinking. If it's a 9-point game and Christian comes back to score, they're going to need an onside kick at some point because they need a second possession.
Whereas now,
this is it. 251. This is your chance.
Absolutely.
Right? You're going to run the football. We know that. That's how you make your hay if you're going to go 70 or 80 yards rather down the field.
And I think the key is Providence Day is not going to give you a chance to push the ball down the field deep in the passing game. I would take the running plays, especially with Rule averaging 9 yards a carry this season.
Knights have a couple of timeouts at their disposal. Rule leaps. Finally brought down to the ground. But it's nearly a 20-yard run.
He's good enough to make those kinds of plays. That's why it's so important that they keep him involved in this game plan, in this drive, to try to go down and tie this game.
17 yards on the play. 1st and 10. A great start to a drive for Christian. They go to Rule again. And he was tripped up maybe by his own feet at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that time they go with a little unbalanced formation. Instead of shifting those two tight ends to the other side, they keep them to the front side to try to run the football. As Tate Estep, number 7, the wide receiver, seems to be not quite 100%.
Farrell hit as he throws. It's batted down to the ground. And now it will be 3rd and 8.
Yeah, great job. They get a little bit of penetration. They bring an extra guy. And Poco Abankwa, Justin Abankwa, number 9, the linebacker, was able to get his hands on Farrell as he got ready to get rid of the football.
Biggest play of the game so far for the Knights.
Look at this formation.
They go down to Rule. Hit as he catches it. Still up, though. Tripped up at the 45. It's not enough for the first, but it gets them awfully close. 4th down brought to you by NC Medicaid. For more people, get full health care coverage with $4 maximum copays. Find out more at medicaid.nc.gov. 4th and 2. They give it to Rule. He lowers his shoulder and got to the line to gain. Maybe not, though. He's within a half yard at the very worst.
This is going to at least needs a measurement here. This is going to be very close. I think you got to measure this.
Both teams pleading their respective cases, pointing in the opposite directions of each other.
Yeah, I think they're going to bring the chains out. As you see Rule working to the right here. Great job. I think that was Funderburk maybe in their 51, creating a little bit of penetration and able to get his hands on Rule early. This is going to be...
Hey, this is the game, 1:06 remaining.
It's either the left foot or the right foot. It's a left foot spot, right foot spot. And here come the chains.
Chain gang coming out, stretching the chains. Stretching the chains.
And it is inches short. Turnover on downs. Providence Day takes over. Now, Charlotte Christian still has a couple of timeouts. It is not quite time to...
You can't kneel it out. You're going to have to actually run a couple of plays.
Yeah, we're not to the point of formalities.
Correct. Because you got to kind of think of it this way. With Charlotte Christian having 2 timeouts, if you run the football twice and they take timeouts immediately, you're probably still going to be somewhere around the 55-second mark after second down, after the second timeout. Even if you kneel it on 3rd down, it's going to be about 15 seconds left, give or take. So tough situation here, but if you're Providence Day, you actually have to execute and run a play. You can't just kneel it out.
It's a handoff.
With the handoff.
Quentin McCray on the carry.
So there's the 5 seconds off on that one. So you would think they'd run something similar, be another 5 to 6 seconds, right around 55 after second down with the timeout.
Second called for Charlotte Christian. They have 1 remaining. 3 yards on the carry. So now it's to the point where if Providence Day gets a first down on this next play, that's it.
That's right. Because at that point, they've got enough downs versus timeouts to kneel the clock out.
Well, this game's delivered 2 years in a row, hasn't it? State semifinal, this exact scenario. Christian at Providence Day. Last year was a thriller. This one has been very contentious. Lott from under center, gives to McCray. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 7. And assumedly, Christian is using their 3rd and final timeout here.
And Chad Greer is having a simple conversation. We talked about the timing, 56 seconds. Chad Greer's conversation right now is offensive linemen, do not hold. Backs, hold on to the football. Nobody go out of bounds. That's it.
Walsh, please report to the concession stand at this time.
Run the football, likely let the clock bleed down to 1 on the play clock, take a timeout, and then make a decision what you want to do on 4th down, which will likely have about 10 or 11 seconds, give or take, maybe about 9 seconds. If you go about it that way, you're going to have to do something with those 9 seconds. Might be something with a longer design. That's why I like getting under center here.
Jumping on the defensive line.
Well, now what that does is if you run the football, just an average gain here on a 3rd and 2, if you just get a few yards here, 3 yards, this game is over. Because at that point, you can truly kneel it out because you've got a fresh set of downs.
5-yard mark on 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2 after the penalty. Lott, a play fake. And a designed bootleg running himself, dropped to a knee.
I love that he got down. He recognized situationally not to go out of bounds.
A first down for Providence Day that will seal a state semifinal victory, as Zaid Lott is our Farm Bureau Insurance Player of the Game. A rushing score, 2 passing touchdowns. And he kneels it out to send the Chargers to another state championship game.
Moxie by that young man in this ball game. That is big-time moxie.
Another one down to the wire between these two. Providence Day and Charlotte Christian have met in 3 consecutive postseasons. It's 3-0 now for the Chargers, but the Knights haven't made it easy in these past 2, the semifinal games. This presentation of the NCISAA State Semifinal has been brought to you by Ortho Carolina AAA and Farm Bureau Insurance. A 28-20 victory for Providence Day and a trip again to Rabun Gap a week from tonight. For Reggie Walker, Brady Pugh producing, rest of our great Bahakel Sports crew, I'm Darren Vaught. So long from Providence Day, where the Chargers get a victory to advance to the state finals 28-20 over the Knights of Charlotte Christian. Thanks for joining us.